This is CES MMA.
Well, here we go, Timmy. First bout of the night, TUNDEE, ODUMOSU, and Michael LAMM. If you noticed on the way out, TUNDEE had Doomsday in his corner. Wonder if he's been working with him for this fight.
One would think so. He's here in the corner. He's here to lend his support, which definitely means he has a vested interest in the outcome of this fight. Oh, they mix it up early.
Michael comes out swinging very early. Pressure's on.
TUNDEE is using a technique called the cow catcher, where with your left hand you capture the chin, right hand he has the underhook. He's looking to sling him to his left, but gentleman is countering by hooking the leg. Very smart move.
Yeah, Michael's looking, he needs to pry his face off, get some separation here, and try to back himself off the cage.
Well, as you know, Scott, this fighting against the cage, although it doesn't look like there's a lot going on, in terms of energy expenditure, it's huge.
It is huge. You're very much correct, sir. Nice right hand by TUNDEE on the exit.
Yeah, now they've separated.
Nice rear leg by TUNDEE. Both fighters keeping busy, no one's standing still.
Looks like they're going to spend a little bit of time to find out each other's range, test each other's reflexes with feints and movement.
TUNDEE is leading with that jab, except he's jumping in on it. Couple nice right hands. Nothing landed flush by Michael. I think you're right, Tim. He's still in that feeling out phase.
Yep, trying to get a sense of each other's timing and movement, and also the spacing, which is of paramount importance whenever you want to strike. That was a nice exchange.
Yeah, nice exchange there. I don't think anybody got the better of it. Both fighters seem to land a right hand. Another nice exchange, but they're shoulder high. They're not. Mike shot in for the double and got stuffed, and ate a couple punches on the way out. TUNDEE adding the pressure here. TUNDEE's continuing with the forward pressure, backing his opponent up.
Michael seems to be giving up a lot more of the center of the ring than he was earlier after those two exchanges.
It's a great point, too, because he wound up on the cage early. Might not want to do that again. Nice right hand by both fighters. TUNDEE puts his hands up like, what do you want to do? You want to keep playing or not?
Yeah, they both tasted a little bit of each other's power, and TUNDEE looks to feel like he's confident to close the gap.
If you look, TUNDEE's got his mouth open. He's not biting down on that mouthpiece. That's pretty dangerous. You leave your nice right hand by TUNDEE.
That hurt him. That was definitely an effective right hand.
Now, instead of chasing him, TUNDEE would be prudent to cut the cage off as opposed to chase his opponent. Cut him off and corner him.
Just mixing it up a little, throwing in some leg kicks.
Nice step in, rear leg that took his balance away. Another right hand, straight left on the out. Michael just came forward, ate another right hand, but with the flying knee.
That was a beautiful counter, straight right hand backing up. TUNDEE is definitely pressing the action at this point.
Without a doubt. I would just like him to cut the cage off rather than follow him. Right now he's chasing rather than cutting the cage off.
True, he's not taking those angles that would prevent Michael from circling.
Exactly correct.
Stick with the guard, good stairs. Here comes Hugo.
You got to give TUNDEE lots of credit for patience. He had him rocked a couple of times, and he didn't leap in just all excited and try to finish.
True.
Haplessly.
But I think he should go back to using his jab a little bit more. Right now he's landed that right hand a couple times.
It's a great point, and I think Michael's lateral movement is preventing that jab, preventing that timing.
It's a good point.
Threw that a nice high head kick there that was defended very well by Michael.
Seems like the pace has slowed down a little bit. Both guys have gotten a taste of each other's power, mixed it up a couple times. Now I think we're heading into tactical and strategy mode.
Funny how that happens. You eat a little leather and you kind of slow down a little bit.
Yeah. I like the way TUNDEE is moving, level changes.
Fantastic. I think it's very underrated whether you throw a punch or not. Change of level leaves your opponent a little bit at bay. TUNDEE throws a rear leg there, high to the head, but was more losing his balance than anything else.
Yeah, he got a little overextended on that kick, and his base leg came off the floor, which leaves him very vulnerable.
Very true. Nice right hand to the body. TUNDEE follows up with a couple of straight right hands and a right hook. Both fighters, a couple of nice right hand, left hook by Tundee. He's really feeling it. He's got a nice little swagger to his walk right now. He's very confident. Tundee's definitely landing the more accurate, the more power punches here.
Well, Tundee looks like he's walking him down. Michael needs to get his jab out there, establish some kind of movement that backs Tundee up. Gives
Exactly
him some
correct.
space.
Give him a reason not to come forward, Tundee. I agree. It's a good first round. Both fighters look like they had that short feeling out period and had no problem a little later in the round throwing the leather.
No, they stood in the middle and they traded a couple times, at least in that round.
Okay, now listen, when he keeps circling like
Let's
that,
see how
he
his
gets
corner
so
takes
crazy,
care of
you kill him with
the
that leg kick.
blood.
Okay, you kill him with that leg kick, okay? He stays there, doesn't do that, you leg kick him. Okay, what he's trying to do is try to make you chase him.
You cannot telegraph. Look at me.
So Scott, it sounds like his corner is advising him to use leg kicks to help keep that distance and keep Tundee from walking him down.
It's going to be. I think it's a great point. It'd be great to do that, but he can't do that going backwards. He's not going to be able to throw the leg kick going backwards. He's going to have to stand his ground or do something like you said. Maybe work that jab to keep Tundee at bay, and then the leg kick to back him off. But I don't see. Without establishing the jab, like you mentioned, he's not going to prevent him from Tundee from coming forward.
And Michael's doing a good job of movement when he gets closer to the cage. But earlier, if he could pivot off some of those attacks, he might
Great
benefit
point. Change
more.
your angle just a little bit.
Looks like Tundee is using the John Jones, entrance in the deep crouch.
I call it the frog. Well, let's see who comes out and establishes a little domination first. Tundee is moving forward again, just picking up where he left off at the end of the first round. There's the leg kick that Michael's corner had called for. Nice right hand counter by Tundee. Really laying the leather to him now.
That right hand hit him right on the butt and knocked him down, but it looks like Michael's recovered quickly. Although I'm sure he's still hurt.
That's the idea. Don't look hurt. No, you didn't hurt me. Where am I?
As he came in with that series of strikes, I like how he committed, but he left his chin in the air.
Again, to me, like you said, it's one thing to come forward. It's another thing to come forward with good technique, risking coming forward, putting the least amount of yourself exposed.
And that's the balance, the trick between playing, when you attack, fundamentally you're a little bit out of position, you're more vulnerable to a counter.
Exactly, and it was his feet. He ran inside throwing punches as opposed to bringing his feet with good balance to make those strikes happen. Tundee did a great job by just sitting down and dropping a right hand right in the butt. That nose has opened up pretty well, too.
Absolutely. And again, there's kind of an attempt at a shot by Michael off of a punch, but he's not really changing levels effectively. He's more bending at the waist, which has a lower success.
That's it. That's the football tackle. That's the way I describe it that he's trying to do, rather than a clean jiu-jitsu or wrestling shot. But again, it did back Tundee up and maybe just changing the pace a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, the fear if he can instill the fear in Tundee that if he overcommits on a forward attack and he's going to drop under and take a shot, it has the potential to slow him down.
No, you're 100% right. Anything he can do to stop having Tundee come forward.
Now we seem to be a little bit more balanced like we were in the beginning of the first round. Tundee's not walking him down as much. So maybe some of the strategies of the shots and leg kicks have been effective.
Let's see, we're at 2:40 left in the second round. Both fighters still very game.
And there's a good amount of damage shown on Michael's face right now. It looks like Tundee's jabs and his nice right hands have contributed to that.
Tundee's just a bit more accurate with his punches than Michael is at the moment.
He looks comfortable.
I think that's a confidence. When you get that confidence that your hands are landing, your opponent's bloodied up, you relax a little bit, find your flow.
Yeah, I mean, he looks comfortable working in that cage, fighting that fight. And that's a big thing. Confidence is a lot of times you can have the skills, but without the confidence to go out there and perform.
It's a great nice rear leg. And you know, Timmy, just to add on your point, it's not just the confidence, it's the confidence after exchanges. It's I'm still here. You know, it's one thing to be confident walking into the cage. It's another thing to be confident coming off the stool. I think you're 100% right.
The Mike Tyson quote, everyone's going to plan until they get punched in the face. But sometimes if you take somebody's shot and you survive it,
It's a confidence building yourself.
yeah, because you understand that, okay, I can make a mistake and I'm not going to get penalized for it. I'm not going to lose the fight for it. I can still counterfight, especially when you're able to hurt the guy.
The second you know you hurt somebody, as a fighter, you smile in your belly. There's a little smile like, okay, I'm working better than he is right now. He's hurt.
Yep.
Nice stiff jab by Tundee. I'd like to see combinations from either fighter. They're both kind of pot-shotting one or two punches. He threw that punch from Chelsea.
He definitely looked like he wanted to do some damage with that windup.
Tundee's still carrying the pressure, the forward pressure. Nice 1-2. He backed him right up against the cage with that.
I think going back to your point that you brought earlier, if he was able to cut the cage off a little bit more, he could keep Michael in range where he could deliver the shots that he's trying to land.
Yeah, when you see a fighter that's using a lot of lateral movement, then you move side to side. You don't move laterally, you move vertically. Nice left hook, straight right hand there.
He used that left hook to corral his movement.
Well, you can use a left hook. What the hell do I know? Nice. I don't know if that was a duck under or an attempt at a shot right there, but either way, he escaped a little damage, Michael did.
So this is a time in the fight, especially for younger fighters, to kind of gather their composure.
We're down 2 rounds, heading into the third. How do you score it so far?
So far, I have Tundee taking the first 2 rounds.
I'd have to agree.
He doesn't want to fight. He can't breathe through his
No, he's had ring control. He's landed significant strikes. He's pressed the action, and he's been able to defend Michael's shot attempts and keep the fight in a range that's benefiting him.
I agree. And you can hear Doomsday in Tundee's corner saying he doesn't want to fight. He's running. I want you to maintain this pressure. Keep backing him up. Be aggressive.
Yeah, and we spoke to this earlier. Tundee's challenge is to be aggressive and go forward and try to finish the fight without exposing himself unnecessarily.
Okay.
Because a lot of times as you're trying to reach for a punch, you know, your chin comes up.
Yeah.
Okay.
The more you extend your hands past your body, you don't bring your feet with you, the more exposed you are. Tundee does have a little more cage experience. He has 1 professional fight. Although he lost it, there is experience that goes with that. And this is Michael's professional debut. So maybe just that little bit of experience, a little bit of time in the cage has been beneficial.
Well, when you fight in the gym and you develop all the skills that these great athletes need to be in this situation, there are never bright lights, media, and television coverage. And when you add those variables, it can be very distracting, especially for a young fighter. And it takes some time. You know, it's like anything else. If you do it a few times, then it becomes more normal.
Correct.
And the pressure doesn't get to you as much. But I'm pretty sure there's no fighter out here who's going to fight tonight that does not feel the butterflies.
If you're not feeling butterflies, you shouldn't be in the cage. Butterflies are good. Again, Michael's doing a lot of hand movement, not really feints, but his head's not moving. His head's a stationary target, and I think that's why Tundee is landing his punches a bit more accurately. If you look at Tundee, even though he's rolling a little bit, his head does move slightly side to side.
And again, we spoke earlier, he does the level changes. And you see how he's showing that back shoulder feint?
Yes.
To kind of delay that the tell for that right hand.
Nice, there's your combination we've been both asking for. Nice 1-2-3 with the rear leg to finish.
Scott, if you were Tundee, how would you try to finish out this last 3 minutes, 47 seconds?
I would do the best I could to cut the cage off and put my hands on him in combinations. It's not always the first or second punch that lands. It's the third or fourth or fifth one out of the combination. And honestly, now going into the third round, if you hurt him, you got to look to finish. You got to get in there and see how bad he's hurt. And it's not early in the fight anymore.
Now, what things do you think Michael Shane LAMM is doing that Tundee's having a little trouble overcoming, closing the distance?
It's his movement. It's lateral movement around the cage. In the instance that, like we spoke about, had Tundee cut him off, he wouldn't be chasing. And that's all Tundee's. The only thing I think Tundee is having a problem with is trying to track him down, trying to track Michael down. Again, Michael finally trying to throw a little jab. rear leg feint, trying to stay busy. And this is the first time, just off those feints, where he's been able to back Tundee up. But it's 2 rounds in 2 minutes into this fight.
Yeah, it also might be a case where Tunde realizes the first 2 rounds, might have gone in his favor and doesn't feel the pressure.
Right? Nice double rear leg by Tundee. You can see him clowning a little bit, something I'm not very fond of, but it also shows the confidence you spoke of.
Yeah, I mean, he's certainly not backing up, but he's not, taking the exaggerated risks we spoke about during the interval between rounds. Right. He's being smart. This will also be a good opportunity for Michael to try to rally and take advantage of the lighter pressure.
I would agree, and unfortunately Michael isn't. And Tundee actually just a nice lead left hook to the body, something that's very hard to throw, and he landed it very well. Rear leg checked well by Tundee. There's that right shoulder feint you were talking about against him.
Yeah, he's been showing that a lot in the fight. I think that's a smart move. Because it kind of conditions your opponent to see that shoulder move and not react immediately.
That's true. Anything that you can do to lock your opponent up. But again, both fighters right now still, no one's very active. They're pot-shotting each other. And it's incumbent upon Michael, he has to know he's down a couple rounds. And he's not doing anything to win this fight. He's looking to survive.
I agree, Scott. Looks like, he's trying to get some movement going. He's trying to rally up, but I don't think he's just really figured out the puzzle in the stand-up with Tunde. And when he meets in these exchanges, it's not working out for him for the best. So he's, trying to take a smarter approach to the engagement. But he does need to press the action in this last minute.
I love the fact that Tundee's countering with a straight right hand to him on that leg kick. He's a little bit taller fighter. Nice combination again, landed by Tundee with the left hook, right cross.
He's definitely in command of this round in this fight.
I'd have to agree. Just not a whole lot of action going on at the moment, and Michael's feinting and coming up short with his jab.
I think both fighters kind of evened out in that last round. Oh, strong exchange.
Right uppercut in the fight.
Great job.
Well, it looks like Mikey took the worst damage in that fight. I'd have to say Tundee, in my opinion. Anything can happen when it gets to the judges, but it was, I think it's Tundee's fight.
Judge Flanagan scores the bout 30-27. Judge Asmar scores the bout 30-27. And Judge Parker scores the bout 30-27. For your winner, fighting out of the blue corner, TUNDEE.
Well, I'm a little nervous right now, Timmy. The judges got it perfectly correct. I believe it's time for me to go home and store more water and canned goods.